In this next video, we're going to take a look at derivatives using the chain rule of trigonometric functions specifically. So for number 45, we have y equals cosine of 4x. Y prime will equal, you take the derivative of the outside, derivative of cosine is negative sine, leave the inside alone, so that'll be 4x, times the derivative of the inside, derivative of 4x is just 4. So we end up with negative 4 sine of 4x. That's all there is to that. Then number 46, you have y equals sine of pi x, and the derivative y prime is equal to derivative of the outside is cosine, leave the inside alone, times the derivative of the inside. The derivative of pi x is just pi, and so that gives pi times cosine of pi x. Number 47, g prime of x is 5 by the constant multiple rule. Then its derivative of the outside function, derivative of tangent, is secant squared. Leave the inside alone. Then times the derivative of the inside function, which is just 3. And you end up with 15 secant square of 3x. Number 48. The derivative of secant is secant tangent. So h prime of x is secant tangent, leave the inside alone, multiply that whole derivative times the derivative of the inside, which is 2x. And so that could be simplified to be 2x. So that's 2x secant of x squared times tangent of x squared. All right, number 49. You have sine of pi x quantity squared. So it's the pi x that's squared there, not the sine. So the derivative will be y prime is equal to, so derivative of the outside function here is sine, and its derivative is cosine. We'll leave the inside alone, and the inside here is pi x squared. So if I want to break it up, I could write it as pi square x squared, and that way I wouldn't need more parentheses inside. So it's cosine pi square x squared times the derivative of pi square x squared. Pi squared is just a constant, but we're still bringing down the 2, so it'll be 2 pi squared x. And so that finally is 2 pi square x times cosine of pi square x squared. Next, number 50. Now with 50, the outside function is still cosine. The inside function is 1 minus 2x quantity squared. And this time we're going to need to do a chain rule that is actually what I would call a three-way chain rule. You have an outside function, which is cosine of x. Then you have a middle function, which is something squared. Then you have an inside function, which is 1 minus 2x. And so this is an example of a repeated chain rule. Now you could get out of the repeated chain rule by simply multiplying out 1 minus 2x quantity squared, in which case that would be cosine of 1 minus 4x plus 4x squared. And at this point that might be a little bit easier. So the derivative of the outside is simply derivative of cosine, that's negative sine. Then we leave the inside alone, then times the derivative, the whole thing is times the derivative of the inside, which is negative 4 plus 8x, or 8x minus 4. And with a rewrite we'll get negative quantity 8x minus 4 times the sine of 1 minus 4x plus 4x squared. And that'll do it for this video. We'll go on to 51 through 54 in the next.